All right, let's move on to the last piece, which is advice from the industry. This is advice that we give you all the time. And this is an article written in gamedesigning.org, which has got a lot of articles on game design in general. But here's the biggest piece right here. You're not just going to coast through a new game development design program at a university and expect to graduate with a job. That's everywhere.
Yeah, those days are gone.
That's done. That's done. That's done.
Yeah.
This is the sentence. This is what I've been building up to the entire time. A successful game developer is one who develops all the time. And I know that's a lot of our audience, so
yeah,
that's good. But you need to keep developing. Work it like it's your 9-to-5 job. When you have free time, develop something. And I don't know if this article states it in general, but I would say start working out of your engine of comfort.
Yes.
Don't work in just one engine. Yeah, it's okay to have a preferred engine. My preferred engine has been the Unreal Engine since version 2.5, but I force myself to look at other engines to learn their UIs, to learn ways to get around them. But yeah.
Yeah, even jam games, absolutely,
jam games,
BG.
yes.
Every opportunity, take it.
Take it.
To design, to learn, to code, to develop, do it. You're only going to get better with practice.
Yeah.
And honestly, the better you get and the more that you do, the more likely you are to get picked up.
Yes. And again, leave your comfort zone. Leave the engine you're used to working in. If all you're ever doing is making games in the engine that you love, then you're never really going to be anything more than a person who makes games in that engine.
Yeah.
Work outside of it.
You've got to be versatile.
Absolutely. Be versatile. But not only are you being versatile to make yourself more marketable, but working in several engines also makes you stretch your skills.
Oh, yes.
It pushes you to think beyond what you're used to, so that you have to problem solve instead of just doing the same task over and over again. Think of it like this.
Okay.
If I teach you how to do something in a game engine, how to create a rock pushing puzzle.
Right.
And I teach you how to create that rock pushing puzzle in that game engine. And you get really good at making rock pushing puzzles for all of your games. All you're ever really going to know how to do are the set of tasks that are necessary to create the rock pushing puzzle in that game engine.
Yeah.
Now, if you try to create a rock pushing puzzle in another game engine, you have to learn a different set of skills. And if there's no one there to teach you, then you have to learn how the engine works.
Yep.
Which is a skill set. You have to learn how the UI allows you to navigate it.
Yeah.
Which is a skill set. You have to learn how to problem solve the math behind pushing that rock.
Yeah.
Which is a skill set. So every time you pick up a new engine or you try to create something that is outside of your comfort zone, you get better as a game developer. And that's how you become a successful game developer.
So as BG was saying, yes, game jam games.
Yes.
Do it. Jump into every one you can find. And that gives you good practice right there, and free feedback. You don't have to pay people to give you feedback. It's right there.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I also want to draw attention to these. Sorry, I got to take off those rose-colored glasses, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I know how you all love being game developers, but first off, make sure this is something you want to do because it's not a glamorous job. You're not put on a pedestal.
Nope.
People who are a part of communities of game developers, whether it be the RPG Maker community, the Unreal community, the Unity community, etc., 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 often have other people who are developers in that engine.
Yeah.
Telling them that their work is good, patting them on the back. Everybody pats each other on the back, living in a bubble of positive feedback and encouragement. And while that's good psychologically, that does not prepare you for the industry or for the public.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. So, what you have to think about is this. How are everyone outside of your community going to view you? They're going to view you as the workhorse who is creating the game they're entitled to. And that's terrifying. Because no matter how good you are, someone's going to say, well, your game could be better. Not in a way that's providing critical feedback, but in a way that they demand better.
Yeah.
They're going to see you for your product, not for you. So don't become a developer because you want the accolades. Don't become the developer because you want people to say, wow, your game is fantastic. Be a game developer because you want to make games.
Also, in tandem with what Steele said, there is a big element of anonymity. The world at large doesn't really focus on or much care about the individual people who put the game out. You're just one of the faceless people that put out a game.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to be lauded, you're not going to get that.
No, you're not.
You're just one of many people who are on a team for a studio that is putting out a game.
Yeah. Very few people will be Todd Howard. Don't try to become Todd Howard.
Yeah.
That's that 1 in a million shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I tell my friends who want to get into writing, there's that 1 in a billion chance you'll be George R. R. Martin or J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Most likely.
You'll be the schnook that happens to be somewhere on the publishing list for that company.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Let's see.
I'm not saying this, by the way, guys, to kill your motivation. I'm just saying it because a dose of realism is necessary.
It's a reality check.
Yeah.
Getting back to feedback, BG, yeah, your best feedback came from, K's on the forums.
Yes.
Yes, forums, they will give you absolutely everything. They'll rip you to shreds, but then they'll tell you how to fix it and why you should fix it. And good constructive feedback. Yeah. And sometimes it hurts to get it, but you get better.
I like what Burke said. Burke said, still got to remember there's a difference between the game you're making and the game that a very vocal minority was envisioning can't please everyone.
That's true.
Well, that is true. But the point that we're trying to make, Burke, and to anyone else listening, is that when you are in a community of like-minded developers, they may or may not envision something a certain way, but they're going to compliment you because they themselves want to be complimented. It's the circle. I almost said the bad word. It is the circle of backpacking.
Yes.
Patting each other on the back. And that's good that we have that. That's very supportive. It's psychologically necessary. It helps. But when you get out there, regardless of a vocal minority or not vocal minority, you aren't what they're going to see. The public is going to see your game, not the developer.
Not the developer.
So keep that in mind. Moving on here. What can we do to get started? Right here.
Here we go.
Start now, start small. Best piece of advice. It's what we tell you all the time. Studio Blue has been screaming that since we pretty much started.
Yeah.
Start small. Do not try to make your epic RPG. Do not try to make your 12-hour, epic RTS battles. Don't do that. Just don't. Start small.
You've got to start small.
Really small. It is so easy to get pulled up into those lofty games. It says that on the screen, lofty games.
Yeah, lofty games.
You want to build League of Legends, you want to build Overwatch, you're not. You're not at first.
Yeah.
Get really, really, really good. Make a lot of small games. Make hundreds of small games. Make games that take 5 minutes to play.
Yeah.
Do that. Even if it's an RPG, all you're doing is build a tech demo. Build a tech demo of your battle engine. Build a tech demo of your dungeon navigation. You may take pieces of that later on and put that in your epic project. You never know when you create something small whether or not it'll lead into something bigger and better.
Yeah. Yeah, and BG learned the hard way because they tried to make an epic RPG out of the starting gate, and it's taken them 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years.
5 years. Yeah, make a 10-minute game jam game for your first game, and then you can make like 9 a year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The community that Wrath and BG are part of, which is the RPG Maker community, has a ton of game jams.
Absolutely.
Start there. And use that engine. That engine's actually pretty good. Outside of just turn-based RPGs, it's a good engine. But find an Unreal game jam. Find a Unity game jam. Find a game jam that does not have a engine requirement. Do that. Go to a game jam where it doesn't matter what your engine is. You just have to make a game under a certain theme. Hawk Zombies, Hawktober is like that.
Yeah.
It's engine. It's not engine specific. Do that.
And Burke, that's actually pretty good. You know yourself. You know what you're capable of, and you just keep focusing on that and stretching that, okay? And you're going to turn out a really good product. I mean, Burke works on stuff. He tells us he keeps us apprised all the time. And there's just Burke is always working on the programming and the coding and things like that. And I'm sure, Burke, that you're a lot better than you were 2 years ago.
But I will say this, and BG is correct, and Burke, if you or anyone else out there who is jumping into a large project takes nothing else from this conversation, take this away. If you are determined, regardless of anything I or anyone else says, to make that first game or first couple of games be this epic, massive game, if you're going to do that regardless of what anyone says, that's fine, good luck to you, but be prepared for headaches, be prepared for disastrous failures, just be prepared. And if you know what you're getting into and you know that the negatives should and when you screw up happen, then more power to you. You're going to learn. You just may be causing yourself a lot of pain when you learn. And that's okay, because pain is a learning experience.
Well, that's what rum is for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rum is for pain. So, I mean, yeah, good luck to all those, you know. And we had someone who we played their game years ago, and we said, don't make an epic game, don't make an epic game. And he did it anyway. He's still a supporter of ours. It's been very difficult, but he's doing it.
Yeah.
But he's literally forging through a piece at a time, you know, one tier at a time, and that's fine. You know, you do you.
And hey, welcome Tony Dev.
Hey, welcome. Good to see you. So that's pretty much it. Then they talk about how to get a job. Well, freelancing is a great way to start off in the industry.
Yeah.
Freelancing is a great way. Work for a small studio, work for teams. Pretty much at this point, it's just building up your skill set until someone notices you, and then putting out all the applications.
Yeah, building up your skill set, but also building up your network.
And your portfolio.
Because of 90% of jobs obtaining is networking.
Yes.
That's true for any industry, not just the game industry. So as you're freelancing and as you're doing small jobs for different studios, network. You know, let them know who you are and get to know them, and you know, they'll start calling you back for stuff, and that's just how you network, and that's how you get your foot in the door.
You never know if the next person you talk to is going to be the person who helps you get your next job.
Exactly.
Like Bacon said, your network is your network. Yes.